Where's the best spot for it? Right here? Good?
Oh, you're doing wonderful, bud. Devin, good win for the Firebirds tonight. That's an exciting game, and welcome back to you, man.
Thank you.
What do you notice? What do you notice? Anything different in the Firebirds from when you left to your return?
Well, I know how well the guys are playing right now, and you know, it's a good thing because that's a good team coming into this building. You gotta play well. It wasn't perfect, but we were good for lots of stretches of it, and you know, the fans were awesome. You know, when they were kind of taking it to us, you could feel that energy, and yeah, it came down to the wire, 65 minutes plus, and it was Driegs was great. It was nice to get a win.
It's a unique perspective for you to be away for a while and come back. Any particular areas that you noticed in growth where the team has improved?
Yeah, just the overall, you know, like predictability and structure. You can tell guys have been working at it, and just finding different ways to win. You know, that's part of it. Not all the games, as I said before, are going to be picture perfect, and how you see them going, but before the first puck drops. So sometimes you never know what type of game you're going to get. You got to do your best to impose your game on them, and just finding different ways to win, getting contributions from everyone. It's great.
500 games in your career. What will you remember from this one?
Well, I remember that we got the win, which is great. Nice big win at home. Fans were buzzing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a big number. So I've been very fortunate to play with a lot of guys and a lot of great players, and you know, I've had my fair share of bounces too, which you need. So it's been a great ride. A lot of good memories.
Can you talk to the similarity between playing here and playing with the Kraken, and the style and the way they play and resiliency, I guess?
Yeah, for sure. Work ethics first and foremost for both teams, and you know, the overall structure's the same. I think most teams in the American League try to mimic the structure of their NHL team. So when guys come up, there's not too much. There's some familiarity with that. So yeah, just great compete and intensity. Good home fans too, and fans are great up in Seattle, and they're great here, and it makes a big difference.
I think it's fair to say Calgary is probably the Firebirds' primary rival. I know you weren't around last year for a lot of that. How it got built up. Is that something the team talks about, or is there something extra about playing Calgary?
Maybe a bit. Yeah, to be honest, I'm maybe not be the best guy to ask that, but you can tell they're a really good team, and so are we. So I think, you know, like, I know it was a really hard fought series last year in the playoffs, and every time these two teams meet, you know, it's going to be a good game. Two good teams going at it, and it was a really close one tonight. It came down to one shot, so that's usually what you expect when two good teams go at it.
I'm kind of curious about the 3-on-3 overtime. What's your mentality out there in that situation? How do you sort of thread the needle between being aggressive
Yeah.
and not getting caught?
Yeah, don't cough up the puck in the last 30 seconds. Give them a 2-on-1. That's a good start. But no, it's anticipation, making sure you're changing with the puck, possessing the puck, and then you know, looking for 2-on-1s all over the ice. But no, changes are big, and turnovers are costly. I got lucky there, to be honest. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Welcome back.
Thank you.
guys.
Hey, all right.
What's up, man?
I'm good.
Awesome.
How are you guys doing?
Great.
Nice.
Thanks for
We
asking.
didn't have to
Yeah,
play
of
goal.
course. No, yeah,
In overtime or a shootout.
Yeah.
Or-
yeah. That's.
Chris, you look like you got stronger as the game went on and into the shootout. Did you feel that way?
Yeah. Felt good when you keep them out. Felt like I was playing the shootouts. I liked my depth and the speed of my retreat. So I think it's kind of the two things I focus on, and was lucky to keep them out.
This team looked like it had a lot of confidence over the last week and a half. They look like they want to be in first place. Do you feel that in the locker room?
For sure. I mean, this team's got a swagger. It's just fun to be around. It's contagious, I think. Great leadership, good coaching, strong rookies. I mean, it's kind of the full package in that room. So it's been a lot of fun, and it feels pretty good. You let one in, and the boys come and just bang another one back in the back of the net, get a little run support. So having that confidence in them definitely makes my job a little easier.
I asked Devin this. I'll ask you the same thing. What's the correlation between here and Seattle? Is it really as similar as it looks on the ice?
Like, what do you mean, like playing style or the level of play?
The playing style and the confidence level and the
Yeah.
swagger that you mentioned.
For sure. I mean, the organization does a great job of making everything pretty seamless between here and Seattle. So it's obviously a little bit of a step up in Seattle, but I think they do a great job of making it as seamless as possible.
Talked with Zuli more than a few times about all the scouting that he does on both sides. But is there a scout for what you see in the shootout? You scouting on those individual guys?
Some guys like to see it. I like to just play it straight up. I find unless there's a guy that does the same move like literally every time, but there's a couple of those guys in the NHL, and that's about it. So for me, I just go in straight up because I don't want anything in the back of my head. Let's say this guy's got one move he does sometimes, but then he does something else. You can kind of psych yourself out. So I just like to play him straight up and hope to keep him out of the net.
Yeah, seems to work. You guys talked as a team these three games in 4 days against a couple other teams that are right on your heels for the Pacific Division lead, and then you got a bunch of days off.
Yeah.
You guys talked in recent days during practice about let's go out and grab these 3 games before we got a bunch of time.
We haven't really said anything specifically, but that's kind of the mindset we have all the time. Go out, do a job, get the 2 points, and it was just a gritty effort tonight, I thought. Great third period by us, resilient, never gave up, and was able to get the job done in the shootout. So it's good to get that first one, but like you said, we got 2 more games to go, and then some much needed rest.
Pitching a shutout in a shootout must feel like, obviously that's about as good of a moment a goalie can have. I mean, how does it feel, especially when you're going against a goalie who's also doing it for first 4 shots? What's it like that back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun for sure. A little bit of a battle going on. Good goalie on the other side there, so just kind of trying to stay in the moment and just do my thing and not really think too much about it. And finding any overthink it. Sometimes mistakes happen, and just try and stay in the flow of the shooter and try and keep him out of the net.
This game had a vibe similar to a playoff game, I would say. Calgary, I think, is a rival.
Yeah.
Did it feel a little extra out there tonight?
I think every time we play these guys, there's some rivalry. There's a couple guys on our team they don't like very much. There's a couple guys on their team we don't like very much. And we're both neck and neck in the standings. So, and then obviously the playoffs from last spring kind of adds to that. So every time, and we see them all the time too. So we play them a ton. So lots of time to get this rivalry built. Since we're so far away, we always kind of play 2 games at once. So then it's a little series. So there's a lot of factors that build into it, but we're building a pretty nice rivalry here. And when we're up against the Wranglers, we come to play every night.
And what are the names of the guys that you don't like?
I'm gonna refrain from comment, but I'm guessing you guys can probably figure it out.
Thanks, Chris. Congrats.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks, man. Nice play, good win.
Thank you.
feeling after that win?
It was a great win. I think there are parts of the game where we didn't do ourselves any favors. But I thought our offensive zone play was pretty high end throughout it, and we stuck with it and ended up getting rewarded. So it was a really fun night. Good, I'm glad.
Definitely seemed like there was an electricity in a game against Calgary. Certainly tonight, it seemed like. Is there something? Is there more from when you play the Wranglers?
Well, they're such a high end team, and we had pretty solid games against them last year. And then anytime you play a team in playoffs, I think there's a carryover effect. So yeah, it's definitely a matchup that we always get up for.
Good streak for you, man. I think 4 goals in 3 games. My math is okay. You're the Ivy League guy. You can do the math. Anything you attribute that to?
I think just sticking with it. I think I've had some good weekends without production this year. Sometimes just averages play out and you get good bounces. So shooting mentality and pretty good line mates. So yeah, it's been a good stretch.
What'd you think of the crowd tonight?
They never disappoint. Such an amazing place to play. It's pretty incredible how receptive everyone's been to hockey in the desert here. So we're all pretty fortunate to be a part of the first couple of years here, and this is going to be quite the destination for players.
Where does the confidence level stand right now as compared to maybe last year?
Our group is very confident. We had some changes to the roster. I think maybe it took a little while to get to the level we want to play at, but recently I think the team's just been clicking well, and we have a deep team. A lot of great players that aren't even in the lineup. So yeah, we're pretty confident, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Looks like when you go up against a goaltender like Dustin Wolf, that staying in front of his eyes is key. Was that the thought tonight, trying to get stuff through him that he couldn't see?
Yeah, he's a great goaltender, so traffic really matters. The statistics with clear-sighted shots they're not likely to drop. So yeah, getting in front of him was key tonight.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ace.
Cheers.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
good. They're all good.
It's still January, the last day of January, but man, almost playoff intensity, and felt like each team's mistakes were paid for. I mean, this kind of intensity with still, what, 30 games to go? I'm not going to ask if it surprises you, but still, kind of mid-season for that kind of game.
I was asked this question yesterday. If a rivalry game, and rivalries are usually built between two good teams and some history, some playoff history, and it seems like every game we've played against the Wranglers is you feel like you're going up against the best team or the other best team, and last year was how many games? 8 plus 5 of 13. Of punching back and forth, and each team getting a win. Split it by overtime and in game 5, and this year's been no different. I think we've come on the positive side of the ledger a few more, but like tonight especially, they got some guys back in their lineup, and see some old faces over there that you've battled against, and I don't think they like us, and we don't like them, and there was definitely the flavor of that in tonight's game.
Readily apparent for the viewer to see that, but it feels like thus far into the season, I mean, these Calgary games, yeah, they've got a little extra salt, a little extra hot sauce on them, but these games are stressful. These home games, every game seems to be close. There's not like a 5-1 win where everyone is, has their cotton candy and kind of pays
We
attention. Like every game,
and we
feels
sing
very
country
close.
roads, and
Yeah,
yeah.
like actually,
Huh?
they're all tight.
They've been too many times, I guess. Yeah. Um, I think, speaking of our home games, like we just, I think tonight we snuck over the 500 mark at home, but the story of this team so far this year is we've been a little bit inconsistent with our play, and too many times it's been at home, and the guys over the last, just say, month have really started to play a consistent hockey, 60-minute hockey, and that the I guess that makes the games close, but I guess that's how you want them. That's how you want them. You want a good opponent. You want someone you have to play your best against to beat, and the guys are rising to that challenge, and you get it. You get a little. I think you get a little bit more in this league, our division this year, but the Wranglers are undoubtedly one of the better teams that we play, and it was a good to see our guys play a full 60 minutes and get the win.
Also occurred to me that just by virtue of these close games, that the other teams coming in here, maybe they resent your success. They come in, hey, new team, we see the banner here. Oh, they got all these fans. There's Fuego mascot going over. Like maybe gives a little target on the back. They want to come in here and they want to give you their best game.
I think most definitely. I think yes, we had a ton of success last year, and I think I hope the other team thinks they're going to be playing against a good team, a great team, and that usually draws out the best in the opposition, and maybe that's some of our inconsistencies earlier in the year. We were getting other teams' best, and we weren't up to the challenge. But I think the guys have, I think we've turned the corner in that regard, and we're getting, we're in turn giving our best every night.
Obviously, it was a great performance by Rich Drieger tonight, other than a perfect shootout. But when you're going to a shootout within
Well, it's I don't know, shootouts. I don't know the definition of stress, but like they're they're all shootouts are just stressful from when we left Driegs with a couple saves he had to make to continue the game, and um, that's not always the greatest feeling, but Driegs is proven repeatedly he's an NHL goalie, and um, like it's you got a lot of confidence with him, even though they're sending great players down on him. You got a ton of confidence that he's going to come up with a big save, and we forced him to 4 times tonight, and gave Mo the opportunity to bury the shootout winner.
Is it when you're choosing the shootout lineup in order? What things are you thinking about?
Past history, you know, um, that that goes into it a lot. You know, I'd be, I'd be lying to, tell you that I didn't know what Shorzy. His past history says that's the move he was going to use, and I think he's with that particular move. I think he's 4 for 5 in the tonight. Might have been his first miss in the American League with that move. So lefty righty a little bit. Shorzy lefty, Ryder's a righty. That kind of we wanted to go lefty righty in the first two shooters, and so that was part of it as well. But you know, Potsy's he's got a history of being the go-to guy and in the shootout, and so that's probably you want to score first for sure in the shootout, but maybe the biggest spot is the third spot because he has to come up with a goal. Or so those are some of the things that go into it. And Lindy's got history, Max has got history. Mo is a little bit of a I know what he was in his shootout percentage in junior, but Mo was a little bit of seeing what he'd done in practice and thinking he could have some success with it, and came up aces.
Coach, you get Devin and Riker back. Did you see something different in their game since the last time you saw them both?
No, Shorzy really hasn't played a ton with us, kind of yet. He just getting his feet underneath him and get called up and back down again and get called up shortly thereafter. And really hadn't, I'll say it, gotten his feet underneath him. But, I part of the wanted to get Shorzy back at center. We played him at wing previously when he was down with us, and that worked out until the third period when I put him with a Ryder, put him on the wing with a Ryder. So he's an awesome player and has excellent offensive ability. And at the same time he's a reliable center. And so like to have Potsy and Ryder and Shorzy down the middle is a pretty comfortable thing as a coach. And Riker, I was a little worried about tonight. He got off the plane, at 3:20. I think they landed wheels down and came right to the rink, and that was a bit of a long day for him. And Riker's Riker, as we've seen in the past, is a game breaker. Can be a dominant player in the game, and I think maybe just the way he felt tonight, stepping off the plane, he could play a little more simple and just play a little more direct and not rely on his skating ability as much as he might have tonight. But he's an awesome player, so it was great to have both of them in the lineup tonight. That's it. Yeah, I agree. We got to come back tomorrow.
Thanks, dude. See you tomorrow.